All right, ready? What's up, guys? It's GM McCool.
How you living? It's your boy Glenn Lawrence, and we are back.
Yes, we have a really cool show today, as usual. But today we're talking about, are Western women cooked, or can you build a wife?
Wait a minute. Are Western women can they cook?
Ha!
Can you build a bit?
Are they cooked? Are they cooked? Not can they cook? Are they cooked? Meaning, are they done? Is it impossible to find a good woman in today's society, or can you build a wife?
Build a bitch. Yeah, this is gonna be a
Build a
great
bitch.
show.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Energy and truth on fire. They're calling out the world's desire. From fake ideals to moral decay. They're lining up the modern age. No one saved, not the church, not fame. They're flipping the script, rewriting.
Okay, so we're going to first make sure that before we get into the meat of this show, I want to go over a few things because we know that a lot of modern women have what we call princess privilege. Okay.
Did they not cook? Did they not know how to cook the meat?
We've talked about this before, and men are starting to ask themselves, like, is this really worth it? Like, should I be paying such a high price for such a bad deal? Okay. And I don't blame them. Okay. So we have to stop playing around and saying, like, what a lot of people are scared to say, right? Many modern women say they want marriage, but they act like when you tell them what it is to be a wife, right? All of a sudden it's like, oh, no. They want the wedding. They want the photo shoot. They want the bridal shower. They want the cute pictures, but do they want to stay home and cook and clean and fold laundry, right? So like when
Lingerie at
you
that.
and are they willing to take the authority of their husband? Are they listening to the authority of their husband? Okay. Or is that considered oppression? Okay. So we have to be asking these type of questions. Like, when is it time to talk about the real qualities that women need, right? Loyalty, respect, self-control, honesty, like all the things that are really valuable long-term, right? These are the things that women suddenly want to call oppression, or they want to say, oh, he's being controlling. Don't tell me what to wear, right? Or that's just too much. No woman does that anymore. This is the 20th century, Gia, right? I've heard this before. But it's not, we're not really, we still need these things, right? A man still needs these things from his wife. So how you can't ask for tradition. You can't ask for provisioning. You can't ask for stability. You can't ask him to be there for you when you need, but then you're not there for him. Okay. So more men are looking at dating today and asking one simple question: why should I give a husband level commitment to a woman who has been taught to reject what being a wife really means? Because let's be real, marriage is not just romance. Okay. That's a Hallmark card. That's not for real. It's not feelings. It's not emotional. Oh, I'm in love. I need to have the butterflies. No, it's not that. Okay. It's not, we had a vibe. Marriage is an investment. It's sacrificial. Okay. It's spiritual. It's sexual. It takes time. It affects the family and it affects your future. So if a man is going to put his name, his time, his investment, his money, his reputation, and the future on the line, he has every right to ask, what am I really getting back besides attitude, chaos, and bad ideas?
Exactly. Because if you can't, deal with the wrong episode. No, I mean, seriously, that's the part people are mad about. Men are told to be quiet and just marry on hope, right? Hope she's going to be loyal. Hope she's going to be honest. Hope she's not addicted to attention. Hope that she could bond. Hope she could respect him when life gets hard. Hope she doesn't change when money gets tight or stressed, when stress shows up. And hope she doesn't start using therapy talk and finding herself, you know what I mean? Or that second marriage or whatever. No, men are starting to wake up. A smart man is starting to see something clearly. Just because women, is pretty and she does things that, make her worth marrying, just because she can provide that, is she educated enough to do what's going to be able to work? Just because she can say she wants a husband, that doesn't mean that she knows how to be a wife. Hmm. And just because society tells men to man up and commit doesn't mean marrying the wrong woman is a smart move. A bad marriage can cost a man his peace, his money, his confidence, his children, years of his life. And that's not a small risk, because it could even cost him his life if he does it wrong. And that's a huge loss if he chooses wrong.
Yeah. And, you know, like people don't like when we say stuff like this, right? Like, oh, women are cooked, or a Western woman, you know, don't want to be wise. Like they get all emotional with it. Okay. We're not, but you have to listen to the nuance, right? We're not saying that every woman is ruined. Okay. But a lot of women, a lot of them, the majority of them have been shaped by the incentives, the rewards, the encouragement to be selfish, to care about yourself, to care about vanity and beauty as like valuable when it really doesn't mean anything in the long run, right? They will fight for the things that aren't actually real or don't actually matter. So we're taught to chase, all of us, all women are taught to chase attention instead of character. Okay. It's rewarded. It's literally rewarded. And the opposite of that, right? Which is staying home, staying off social media, not going out the clubs, all that's punished. Right. So we want to get into that this episode. We want to talk about that. You know, we want to show you why things are being reframed in a way to take away what actually is valuable and rearrange what should be prioritized.
Yeah, and you know what? There was a perfect interview done with Rachel Wilson on Steven Crowder to depict just that. So, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Let's watch it. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Rachel.
Dates, he came over to my house, and I don't even remember what it was now. But I said something sassy to him. So he said something sassy back. He was like, "Oh, really?" Said something a little sassy back, and I threw a remote control at him.
I remember you telling me the story, and I love this
Yes.
story.
Right there. That right there. I don't know what in the hell. Okay, thank God Rachel been redeemed, because let me tell you something. That right there is a trigger. My mom would throw remotes, sandals, shoes, even a frying pan. Okay, if you were talking back or she got mad. This right here, I would have ran. I would have ran so fast. I'd have ran so fast. You think I'm Forrest Gump? I would ran so fast. Just saying.
So what did she say
And
after this?
He
All right, here
looked
you
at me and he went, "Oh, really? Okay, well, if that's how you're going to act, I'm leaving now. And if you ever want to talk to me again, you better think about why you just did that and why you thought that that was okay to do, because I will not put up with that." And he left. And I sat there and went, "I can't believe this guy. What the?" And then all of a sudden I went, "Oh, crap. Am I the girl that throws stuff? Am I the bitchy girl that throws stuff and has an attitude?" You know, I immediately thought of like all the
That's crazy.
archetypes of that woman. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be that person.
No.
Do women ever actually have that realization that often? Because I wanted to say that I think Rachel's an anomaly here, because every time like a woman that has exhibited bad behavior like that, when they're questioned about it, they're like, he brought that on him. I didn't want to do that. He made me do that. But she had that self-reflection, like, oh crap, I am that bad person that everybody talks about. Do you think that
I think that when a woman is met with a punishment for bad behavior, okay, and it's met head on, right? It's not like 2-3 years down the relationship. It's met immediately in the beginning of the relationship. Like for instance, in my own marriage, the very first year of my marriage, me and my husband, we got in a fight, and I went to go take my wedding ring off, and I went to go throw it. Like I went to go like take it, and he said, "You better think about this." He stopped
yeah,
me.
you better
He
think
said,
about it real quick. You know he knows how to kill
you
people
better-
with a
He's
rubber
like,
band.
"You better stop yourself, because the second you do that, you better actually mean it. Your shit's gonna be out the front door, and you're gonna be locked out this house." And I stopped myself, And I thought, because I know he was somebody who kept his word. He's somebody who said things and followed through on his word. So I was like, I better not test this, because this man has shown me that he has followed through on his word. A lot of men don't do that. You know, they will enable, they will encourage bad behavior. She will do something snappy in the beginning. He won't fix it in the beginning. He'll just ignore it. Oh, I want my peace. My peace is more important than bringing this up. No, you have to set the standard and the boundaries from the very beginning. Because when she realizes, oh, I'm going to get punished, I'm going to lose if I continue, that's when she is forced. She is forced. That's why I always say women have to step in the shoes of another to understand. And today we're not doing that for women. We're not showing them that way. We're giving them literally rewards for bad behavior.
Yeah, like Andrew literally left. He said, all right, you know what? You better think about this shit. Since you did that, I am out. And if you ever want to see me again, you're gonna fix this problem here. You're gonna remedy this. And then that when he left, that was the consequence. And he made her think about it. She sat there and thought about it. Yeah, but you gotta be careful, okay? Because your husband knows how to blow people up with a rubber band, a toothpick, and a stick of gum. All right. So
well, the point is that he handled, no matter how much he loved me, no matter how much he didn't want to lose me, he handled those boundaries from the very beginning, right? It was like he had 5 rules. I remember that the first week I met him, like he had 5 rules, and he was like, these are the rules. Like, this is what I will put up with. This is what I will not stand. Okay. This has to happen. So he set those ground rules. It's setting the foundation in the beginning. And a lot of men go into relationships letting her do the leading, letting her give him the boundaries. And that's where they
like she tends to dictate the relationship and he just kind of follows.
Correct.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to the video.
I don't want to be her. And I called him and I was like, you know what? You were completely right. I don't know why I thought I could do that. Doesn't really matter, but I will never do that sort of thing to you again.
Then he whipped the Timberland at you.
I'm sorry. Well, here's the thing is, what got me was he didn't yell back. He didn't match my energy and throw something back at me or anything like that. He very calmly just asserted, I don't deal with that.
Yeah.
I don't deal with that kind of behavior from women. So if that's what you want to do, good luck to you.
Right.
Right there. That right there is masculinity in like its full, form. He didn't need to snoop down to her level. He didn't need to raise his voice and throw anything back. He calmly, stoically, he said, okay, this is how you're going to behave. Fine. Good day. And didn't need to give her a whooping that make her feel just as equally bad because, she threw something at him. So therefore you're going to catch this remote back, bitch. Boom. He didn't do any of that. We've
had episodes on this exact topic, and we always talked about why emotional regulation for a man is so important, right? If you mirror her behavior, it's going to be really bad. It's not going to help you at all.
Have a nice life, but if you do want to ever see me again, like that's never going to happen. And that was like really clear right from the beginning. And it just that one moment completely shifted my thinking because of all the stuff that I had seen growing up. Both my parents were like throw things, break stuff, slam doors. It was like very normal in my household, and I didn't even realize how much I'd kind of been programmed with that. And then think of all the pop star girls, think of all the popular females in the culture. And I think this is why most women go this way, because Mima, who everybody has warm memories of going to grandma's house for Thanksgiving or Christmas, and maybe you got sick and grandma came over and took care of you and you always felt so safe and wonderful and you love her. She's not famous.
No.
She's not getting millions of dollars in magazine covers, but Taylor Swift is, and Beyonce is, and Katy Perry is, and all of these famous actresses who give Oscar speeches about how great their abortion was. They're getting all the public praise and all the PR and everything. And that's women are very pack oriented. They don't like going against the grain. They don't like standing out and being different than all the other women. You get penalized heavily for that. Ask me how I know. So they just kind of go with that because that's what we all see from the time we're so little. Even little kids' cartoons now.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. Now. So this is a good point because we did that video about social hierarchies recently, and this touches on the social hierarchies. This is why I said in the very beginning of this video, women are being incentivized, rewarded, and encouraged for bad behavior, and they're being punished for good behavior. And this is what she's trying to say here. We are living in a society that tells women that going out with their girlfriends, partying in the night, shopping all day, taking trips around the world, travel the world, right? That's a great thing to do. Go girl, go get the bag, right? Like these are sayings that have become t-shirts, hats, quotes, social media captions. We are encouraging and rewarding bad behavior, and this behavior is not conducive for marriage. It does not help women. It actually will hurt them for long term. So this is a really good point, because we have to change this. The way that we treat women, the way that we handle women, it's not going to be something that happens overnight, guys. This is not going to you're not going to be able to have like one awakening. Like she's not going to be like, oh, and then change. No, they'll keep making mistakes. But when they're met with constant punishment for that bad behavior, and then you reward them for the good behavior, and that's done consistently over time, that's where the real change happens.
Yep.
The girl is always the strong, tough one. The girl is always the smart one with the superhero powers. The boys are always like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Good thing the girl's here to save me. You know, it's how things have been presented for so long. And it just took Andrew saying that one thing to me for my whole mind to kind of go, oh my God, have I been doing the thing?
Yeah.
Have I had the attitude? And it took me a long time of learning to get that stuff out of me and catching myself when I was doing it.
What you just said is really important, because I mean, ultimately, right, we should, I think, we kneel before the same cross. I know I'm not Orthodox, but I've gone to an Orthodox church. But we do, we serve the same God, and we would be serving a false God if we didn't believe that men and women can be redeemed.
Yeah.
Right. People can be fixed. And that's something too that I know that you and Andrew sometimes are kind of tossed into this lot of the black pill crowd.
Yeah.
You're not. No. If you were to say there is hope, like people can change, because you did. Mm-hmm. What should women, if that's what they want, look for in a man? And what should, I know you don't like giving relationship advice because circumstances are different, but like what should a man look for in a woman if that's what he wants? And what should a young woman look for in a man? Even just like 2-3 things.
Sure. So
this is actually where the video gets interesting, because like right where there, I just wanted to highlight, like he's talking about redemption. Just because the person displays bad behavior or they have done bad things doesn't mean that they have to be bad for the rest of their life, and doesn't mean that they should be punished for the rest of their life for something they've done in their past. Like now, I would say like if they're exhibiting that same behavior and they're continuing that bad behavior, fine, right? But it goes to show you, and it's kind of like this, like we've had this conversation before, like girls like Nala Ray or these women that leave like the adult film industry, right? And they have a change of heart, and you know they realize they did bad things and they want to repent, and so they go to church to get baptized, and everybody goes like, oh, here's another one going down the porn star to Christian trad wife pipeline, right? And that's how they write them off. They devalue these women like change, and it's almost like they want to keep them there in this like, nope, this woman is always going to be a whore. She's nothing better than just a whore, and just look at her as just a whore, and that's all they want. And, you know, as if there's no redemption, none. And Stephen's like, you know, well, if that was the case, then we would be serving a false God where there's no point, was the point in changing then, right? There would be no point for redemption. And I think that's important here, because he's talking about like, hey, yes, our women cook, like the modern women can be cooked right now. You can say that they're cooked, right? But did they have to be forever cooked? Could they actually repent and have this redemption arc to where that they have learned from their mistakes and be a good spouse to somebody else? That is very possible, right? And that's what a lot of these talking points kind of like silence and they cut out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we know social media rewards extremes, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to reward the white or the black, but truth is in the gray. And that's the nuance that doesn't go online. That's the stuff that doesn't really talk about. Okay, does Nala Ray, do these girls, are they somebody that we should be looking up to? No, like redemption takes time. Okay, it takes time. So like if you made a mistake, if you become aware, I'm sure Rachel also had like that one epiphany, but she probably had several more after that. Okay. Anybody who needs to change, it doesn't happen overnight. It's something that you gradually have to learn as you go. That's why I say good relationships, good marriages are created. They are not found. You do not find a marriageable woman. You do not find a marriageable man. Like these things are learned over time. And so I do think that if you have patience and you do things and you see change, you should be, we can encourage Nala. We can encourage these girls to do what they're doing. Hey, yeah, keep up the good work. But honestly, on social media, I've always said this, there is no respect online. Respect does not exist online. So if that's what you're truly after, just get offline and put your priority to your family, because that's the only place you're really going to have any type of respect.
Well, the first thing is you need to realize you're not going to find this perfect package where he or she comes with all the things you want.
They might come throwing remotes.
They might come throwing remotes. They might come with kids from previous relationships. But the number one thing to look for in a woman is if she will say she's sorry, because women have this very deeply ingrained, you're perfect the way you are a goddess, you never
Preach,
apologize
sister.
for your behavior.
Preach.
He needs to do this for you. He needs to prove himself to you. You are the prize. You are the queen.
Can I get an amen?
From the time they're little, and then we also give them no accountability, no consequences for their actions ever. Even if you just look at prison stuff, like crime sentencing, men and women doing the exact same crime, men get like 2.5 times the sentence that women do, things like that. So you need to understand women as a group. We've removed all the accountability. We've told them they're perfect goddesses. They're amazing and wonderful the way they
Telling
are.
women to check their privilege.
Yes. So if you find one that is willing to admit when she's wrong, that's a big green flag.
It's usually after she argues that she's not.
Yes.
And it escalates.
Yes.
And then,
then she calms down and
Yep.
gets a little better.
I'll tell you a technique that I have that would be considered abusive.
Okay, great.
Oh, here we go.
I
Let's get some
called it the
secrets.
walrus until I found out that was a weird sex term, so I switched it to manatee.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, that is a big one. Just being able to, because there used to be the thing, right? Like, oh, and men never apologize. I'm like, no, otherwise happy wife, happy life wouldn't be an expression.
Yes.
I do firmly believe that women have a much tougher time apologizing. You know why? Because if men don't say I'm sorry, they're getting their ass kicked. Many, many times growing up. We live under the
So, I did this study, right? I pulled all of the all the popular songs from the 80s and the 90s. And do you
And they're
realize
all
there was
songs from guys singing like a baby, I'm sorry.
there was over 85 hit songs with a guy saying I'm sorry. And guess how many from a woman?
None.
15, only 15. So from 65 to only 15. So that just goes to show you, like, we are brainwashing, we are rewiring men to say sorry and women not to say sorry. Like, this is in our media, it's in our music, it's everything.
I don't even think those were 15 songs. Now I want you to go back and listen to those songs and ask them and like look for this part, okay? Because are they saying, "Baby, I'm sorry you felt that I said those things," or are you sorry, "Baby, I'm sorry that you think I cheated on you"? Like, are they doing that, or are they actually owning what they're saying sorry for? Because women don't say sorry very often. And when they do, it's always like, "I'm sorry you felt that I said that," or I'm sorry I made you feel this way. Like,
remember the Boys to Men song? Remember that Boys to Men song?
There's
the one that was like a hit song. It was a hit. Like, I'm sorry.
Like, water one's dry.
You
don't even talk anymore.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You don't even know what we argue about.
Exactly.
Yeah, that one?
Exactly. Yeah, all these hit songs are men crying I'm sorry, and not a single thing from women. All the women are like, "I'm perfect the way I am. You need to come correct. You need to check yourself." Like, that's what all these songs are from women. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Or like or was it the Pussycat Dolls? "I don't need a man." Good then, bitch. Goodbye. There's the door. All the way out.
Man, so many of the songs. Like, I was really into like dance hall. Like, I love the dance hall music. All of it's like that. All the women are like, "I'm great the way I am. I need material." Like, I'm singing about materialism, how like they need a man with money. Like, this has all been encouraged. It's been wired into women. Wired.
Yeah. Y'all hoes have got something wrong with y'all. You know what's wrong
So
with you?
yeah,
Got
she brought a good
defective.
point. You definitely have to find a woman who can admit her faults out loud. You know, I think another one is like a good sense of humor. So like if you meet a girl and you like her, like test her quickly, right? Like say something to her. Don't tell her how beautiful she is. Like say something like, man, you say something like you say that word too much, or just see how she reacts, or tell her no right away. See how she reacts. Does she
Hey,
have a
Gia, your hair is
tantrum?
nappy today. Your hair is nappy as hell. Okay.
Can she laugh at that? You know, can she go, ah, ha, ha, and like take it with stride? Like these are really good things. Another good one is to see if she can sacrifice luxuries and things that she likes, right? So like if she's used to always going to the gym at a certain time, or she's used to always having her coffee, like test her like that. Be like, no, we can't do that today. You know, or you can't have that today. Like we got to do something else. See how she reacts. Does she have a meltdown? Does she not talk to you all day? Like these
Does
are
she
all
throw a
signs.
tantrum?
you can see these from the beginning, you know, and these are things that will get worse if you don't nip them
Nip them in the butt.
quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Perpetual threat of violence.
force. Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So that's one. Is there another one? And then I want to go, dish it out to the guys too. Because you're the only
the other
non-femcon who could say this is what matters in a guy without it being he needs to be all the things you want. So okay, finish the women, then we'll
Real quick, Stephen Carter, allow me to introduce you to Gia McCool. Yes, this is her. She does the same things.
So the other thing is if she will not just constantly fight you anytime you try to be the leader.
Okay.
That's another really tough uphill battle that a lot of us are just ingrained with this knee-jerk reaction that anytime a man is displaying leadership skills, we need to pipe up and say something. We need to, well, but what about this?
Did you do that early on?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's one thing I'll say, like, I have a woman who I love, but she will do that. And then afterwards they'll be like, okay, you were right.
Yeah.
And that's a huge contrast to many. In other words, no one's saying, the black people are saying, unless they're perfect. I see that a lot. Like, she will do this, she will do this, she will do this, or he will do this, he will do this, he will do this. Otherwise, no. And look, we're all works in progress.
Yeah.
And I think that people don't know that you and Andrew, that's why you don't want to give relationship advice. But I think you and him should do like a Dr. Laura show. Because I think because you're an unwilling participant, I think you would be the best at it. I really do. We could do it right here. I really think you should do it. I think it could help people. Okay. So now do the men, because then we have to go to Rumble Premium.
Okay, now for the men, it would be
or women looking for these qualities in a man.
Oh, okay. If you're looking for qualities in a man, good dad material. And good dad material does not mean he's willing to change diapers and do housework and split the chores with you. Trust me, that is not important. It really is not important when you get in the mix and you're married and you have kids with a man. You want a man that when bad shit happens, he steps up and he goes, okay, this is what we're going to do. Everybody calm down. Think this through and we're going to figure out a plan. What you don't want, and I promise you this, you think you want the guy who's going to take out the trash and do whatever you say and do all the chores and bend to your will all the time. If you get that guy, you will be drier than the Sahara for the rest of your life, and you'll be looking at the 6-foot-tall Chads who don't give a shit what you say. Right. I'm just
Facts. You don't want a guy that run in there.
I'm alpha.
Yeah, you don't want that guy. You don't want that guy to do that. Okay, you just want the guy that just does it. I'm kidding.
telling you, like, that's the truth. Your ovaries will retreat, especially after the first baby. I think this happens a lot.
They retract up into the body.
They do. And they're just like, eee.
Simultaneously with our testicles.
You want a guy, a virtuous man with warlord potential.
You want a monster who doesn't act on it.
Yes, you want a guy who could be, Jordan Peterson says this and he's right about it. You want a guy who could be very dangerous.
Yep.
But to other people who are a threat to you. So I'm a very easy to sway kind of person, even though I'm kind of tough for a girl. You are
a tough girl.
I'm very maternal though, and I want to make everyone happy and I want to make everything okay for everyone. And one of the best things Andrew ever did for me is he can spot anyone who's going to take advantage of me from like 10 miles away. And he's like, nope, get out of here.
Yeah.
You want a guy who's going to protect your peace like that. And sometimes him protecting your peace might mean him going, okay, hey, we need a nap. You're
But
going to go in
you know
here
what,
and you're going
though?
to take a nap because you are cranky and
Yeah.
you're tired and you need a nap. Well, the thing that saved me, so like if you are a single mom, if you found yourself in this position that I was in, because I was never a party girl. Okay. I wanted to get married and have kids from the time I was really young. I never wanted to go to college and ride the carousel. I've never been on a dating app. I never went out to the club. I'm too like tomboyish to be dancing at the club anyway. It's hilarious watching
I've never
me
been to
try
a
to
nightclub
dance.
in my life.
Yeah.
Only comedy clubs, and it's not a club.
Yeah,
I just call it that.
never did that.
I saw one once through the window.
Yeah.
Like poor Mickey Mouse when he was like looking at the turkey.
Yeah.
And I was
Basically.
like, oh, they're whores.
I think I got dragged to one once with some coworkers and I was like, I gotta get out of here. This is awful. Everyone's sweaty and rubbing on each other. It's disgusting. And
Oh,
I just
no.
like left. And it's
That's-
loud and it's usually like thumping like hip hop music that I'm not into. But I was 25 and had 3 kids with 2 guys. And I'm like, I know what people are gonna think about me for the rest of my life
Mhm.
because they're gonna hear that and they're gonna think what I would probably assume. Because
Sure.
most of the time, if you're in that situation, it's because you were promiscuous or you were partying or you were irresponsible or something. Now, in my case, I wasn't, but I was like, well, this is going to be a lot for any guy to take on.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a lot. Like, no matter how great of a person I am, I come with a lot of trouble. It's
Yeah.
just not an easy situation.
You threw the universal remote.
I did. And Andrew, I tried to break up with him twice early on because I was like, why do
You
you want to
bitch.
deal with this? I was like,
You
You're-
almost lost the best thing that ever happened to you.
no,
Yeah.
it's true. But I
No,
just-
and vice versa.
he was young and handsome. He had everything going for him. He didn't have any debt. He didn't have any issues. He didn't really have any baggage other than, he was a little
Other than being a total prick.
and a little bit of a womanizer. Okay.
I say as a compliment, by the way.
Everybody-
Oh, womanizer? Hold on. I don't know this about Andrew.
Yeah, everybody thinks I was the slutty one, but that's Andrew, not me.
Mm,
I've heard these stories to be true. That's all I'm gonna say. I've heard these stories to be true.
So I want to touch on. I want to.
throw you. And
Go ahead.
he looked
I
at
want
me-
to touch on the part where she was about the chores in the home.
Yeah.
I think that that's a very good point because in my own marriage, like we always from the beginning, my husband had established a structure, right? He
Mhm.
handled outside, I handled inside. So that has just been something that he's established from the beginning. So he's never touched anything inside the home. And I think that has set, a kind of mindset. So I don't have that, oh, there's dishes in the sink. Like I don't have that mindset because it's like, okay, clean the dishes. Dishes are in the sink, clean the dishes, right? I really do think that a lot of the issues that these women complain about, when they're like, oh, I don't want a man, I don't want a child, right? You hear that from women. I don't want a child. I don't want a second child. Like he needs to take care of himself. Or I heard like these reels that go around that say these wives bragging about how he cooks for himself, he picks up his laundry, and like they think that's a brag. And I'm like, that poor man. Like that's what I'm thinking, but it is, it's really a mindset thing. Like as a woman, you have to understand that you are an adult. You're not a child. Like you have your own duties. Even if that man wasn't there, you would still have to be doing these things. So why are you complaining about them? So I think that was a good point that she brought up. Another thing is, that's one of the things I loved about my husband is that he would always look out for me. So a lot of the reasons why I didn't get into as much as I could have gotten into, I could have gotten into a lot of problems being online, but my husband
Mhm.
always went everywhere with me. Like every shoot, anything I've ever done, he was there. Okay. So that saved me a lot. My husband had very good street smarts. Like I didn't. I was very open and honest and naive, right? I wanted to be friends with everybody. And my husband was like, no. Like, no, I don't trust. Like even to this day, I'll have people like connect with her. Let's do a collaboration. And my husband will be like, they're not good people. No, like everything goes through him first. And so that is another good trait to have as a man who can sense these things and be able to guide you through them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's true because like,
Mhm.
y'all could be let's just face it. Either you're naive or you just like don't see. You see a guy walking down, he could be has a shirt that says I'm a thug gangster, I'm a killer. He could have like, cops chasing him, and then he'd be like, "Hi sir, how you doing?" And like y'all women don't see this shit. I don't understand.
No.
Like it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Now we see the world through a rose-colored glass, unfortunately, and the women who remove that rose-colored glass end up becoming very bitter and angry. So you want a woman who has that. You don't want that innocence lost, but at the same time, you have to be willing as a woman to take authority. And when he tells you don't do it, he's not trying to control you. He's trying to protect you. And I think that women mix that up.
Yeah.
Of this, and what is it that we can do to stabilize the situation for them and try our best, because divorce sucks for kids and there's no way around it. And so if you find yourself in that position, it's like, what can you do to try to make things as least bad as possible and to try to like fix it? That's what I cared about most, and I prioritized that. And I knew that I couldn't control other people, but I could control me. So I worked really, really, really hard on myself.
Yeah.
And how I was dealing with Andrew in the relationship and things like that.
What would you say was the biggest change you made? Like if you were to, I mean, I know you don't throw remotes anymore, so that's good, baby steps.
It was,
but like, what else would be the biggest change that you think?
She's not allowed to have any
Or
remotes,
was most
from what I
important
understand. No, I'm kidding.
finding the man you want.
two big defining moments that helped me change the things that I needed to change. I had an aha moment in the shower one day where I realized, because I was thinking about like what kind of man I wanted right before I met Andrew, because I was telling my mom, I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to find, I'm a weird mix of things. I like lifting weights and going to metal concerts and like doing a lot of, more guy stuff, but I'm also like really maternal and love my kids. And I want to be like a stay-at-home wife and stuff like that. Like, how am I going to find a person and I'm pretty intellectually oriented on a lot of things. How am I going to find somebody who wants like both those things or somebody I like who likes those kind of things? Because I would either find hot, dumb, funny guys or like smart, good guys who are also like really boring and kind of stuffy and didn't get my jokes, didn't like my sense of humor. I was like, I just don't know if I'll find somebody, but I was thinking like, what do I want? And the kind of man I was describing to myself in my head, I wanted a guy who was going to lead, who I could count on, who I could trust, that if things go sideways, there's an emergency, I know he's going to be able to handle it, those sort of things. And I had this, like, it seems so obvious.
Let's stop it right there.
In the 80s and 90s in this feminist milieu, it never occurred.
That is, all women want that. All women want that man that they is stable. They can rely on him. They know. And yet, we know one of the things women hate the most is being bored. Okay. So that goes to show you that saying the worst thing you could ever do is bore a woman. Like there's some truth in it, but at the same time, there's some nuance there because a woman needs stability. She does find the fact, like one of the things I loved about my husband is that he was, no matter what, I didn't care what time it was, he was always there. He never ever said like there was never a time in all of our years of being married that he's like, I'm too busy for you. He never did that. And I love that about him. That's why I treasure him. I value him so much. So I think every woman wants that. I think that we need to not lose that.
And I think every woman wants that, but they don't realize that necessarily comes with a cost, though. Like there's a premium for that. You want that guy to never leave you, never abandon you, to always be there. Then don't give him a reason to leave. Respect his position, respect his word. When you make it hard for him to lead you, then he's not going to lead you. He's going to leave you. He can either lead you or leave you. And the choice is yours, ultimately.
To me, that kind of guy is not going to let me step on his dick.
Right. Yeah.
See?
It's a really long dick.
I cannot ask for a man with those qualities and then also constantly be telling him how he's going to do that.
Right.
I want you to make enough money for me to stay at home with the kids, but let me tell you how I think you should be doing it. Let me tell you how to manage your time as a professional and your business and how you should be doing your business and when you should be working and when you should be home. And a lot of women do that. They're like, I want you to make all this money, but I also want lots of attention and lots of time. And
I saw you looking. You had a look on your face. You wanted to say something.
I was looking at what you sent me about the reaction video.
Oh, wrong video. I thought you were talking about this. No. Okay. So what I was going to say to this is that, no, she's right. You know, a lot of women want the man to lead, but they want him to lead the way that she wants him to lead. Like, I want you to be a leader, but let me tell you how to be the leader that I want
She wants
you to
to
be.
micromanage a man how to lead, which is not leading. That's not. See,
No,
my
that's-
husband had this conversation with me in the beginning of our relationship. He asked me, he said, can two people drive a car? He basically he gave me that like analogy.
Hold on, you got to do it right. You got to do it in the voice. Can two people drive a car?
He's like, tell me how you see leadership going. Can two people lead? You know, and he went through this whole thing and he really made me like answer the questions, and I couldn't answer him. Like, I wasn't able to answer him correctly, and I had to think about it. And it took me like, I didn't want to like answer him because I knew where he's using analogies that you can't get out of. Like, remember we had that
I can see, like, can two
conversation?
people drive a car? You're like, well, if you're in one of those like driver training cars where like the other car has the brakes and the gas too, and they have a little steering wheel just in case they need to take over, then two people could drive the car that way, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's how women are. They try to find the way around it so they don't have to answer it. Like, remember we had that conversation with Gift? Remember? And I asked him about the water. If you are thirsty and you're going to die without that water, and the only person that has the lever to open up water is your wife, what would happen? Like, what would a man do? Right. And he wouldn't answer it. He wouldn't answer it because he knew if he answered it, he would have to admit that sex is essential in a marriage.
Yeah, he's going to go get somebody else's water.
So the same thing happened with my husband. He was like giving me analogies that I had. There were very, very simple 5th grade questions. And women, they'll be like, because they know if they answer it, he's right. And I had to come down to that. He's right. Two people cannot lead in the home.
So how long did that take you? Did you try to find a car to like dual drive? Did you ever like say, look, all right, Elon is making Teslas now. We might have a dual driving car here soon.
Honestly, it was a long time ago. It was years ago, but we had the conversation.
Well, I'm glad that it worked out.
A date every single Friday, and we have to have family vacations, and it's like, can't really do that a lot of time. If you want a man that you can trust to handle everything, you can't be constantly telling him how he needs to handle it.
You can't. And the thing is, when women are like, well, then he'll respect and he'll value your input, then you want him to infantilize you. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Like, this idea too, I will say this is something like, you get too far the other way, the Andrew Tates, and be like, alpha. Well, that's actually not a thing.
Yeah.
But then you have people who are feminists and go, there is no alpha. There's no leader of the pack. No, the truth is with wolves, it's kind of, they're top of the pack, middle of the pack, bottom of the pack. There's no one alpha. There's almost like, with Iran, right? It's like number 1 through 72, all dead, which I think is hilarious. But it's like in other words, it's who is fit to lead, and what they're judged by is who is best at ensuring the safety of the pack.
Yeah.
It's not the toughest warrior.
So what I think Steven's getting wrong here, what he's trying to explain is how that leadership is contextual. You're like, or being alpha is contextual. You're not the alpha in every given situation, right? That there's going to be times that somebody else is going to be the alpha or the leader, right? Like, for example, when you're at work, you're not the leader unless you own the company, right? Mm-hmm. So if you go work for a boss, you're not the alpha in that scenario. You are his employee. It's not your company. Now, but you may be the alpha at home. Your family follows on your leadership. That's contextual. You're not all the alpha every day. And I think that's what he's trying to explain and he's taking it out of, doing a bad job at explaining that.
Well, also, I want to point out something that I see in a lot of relationships. A woman in the beginning of the relationship may listen to her man and follow her man and take his lead. But if he messes up one time, she holds that over his head for the
fucking years.
She will never let it go. And then worse, she will say, I'm never going to take your lead, or I'm never going to, from now on, because you messed up. Now I'm never going to see. And that's not fair, because every leader has to fail. That's part of earning respect. It's part of earning leadership. You have
women are allowed to fail.
To succeed. Okay.
Women
So-
are allowed to fail. Men, we're not allowed to fail. No, you fail one time.
That's a failure on a woman because women have never led. And even if they could, they're just not good leaders. Like, let's be honest. Okay. They're just not. So they don't understand it. They can't comprehend it. They've never been in that position, but men have to fail. That's how they get good. That's why a man usually gets really good around age 60. Like he starts understanding women, how to handle certain situations. By then his body starts falling apart if he doesn't take care of it. So I'm just letting women know, if they're watching, listen, just because he made one mistake, that's just part of the journey. Like he's got to fail to learn how to get out of that. How to become better the next time that failure comes, because there's going to be another one. Like I know in 20 going on almost 30 years of our marriage, it's never like you hear this, it's okay, you'll get out of it, things will get better. No, like there's seasons. Like you're always going to be up, you're going to be down. Like we've lost everything, we've built it back. We've lost everything again, we build, and it's going to happen again. So you have to be willing to endure those struggles, endure those failures alongside him. And that means suffer with him. And that means even lose some of the things that you're used to living. Like you might have to do without TV. You might have to do without furniture. You might have to do without your favorite stuff. Okay. Until you can build it back again with him. And this is what builds value. And this is what builds leadership. And this is what builds confidence and capability and competence in a man over time.
Absolutely. Now I'm triggered. I'm going to need therapy. Okay. I had an ex. Like it was just one time. And then I swear to you, she never let that shit go. Like,
yeah, no, that's how women are. They have a file in their head.
They have a file. They have a whole Rolodex. It's like an encyclopedia. When you were 3 years old, your mother said you did this. And then, just
ensuring order in the pack. And that can be kind of fluid because if that one is injured. So it's not just I'm the alpha. Anyone who goes like alpha, beta, I'm like, well, that's bullshit. You're compensating for something.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, that does mean the kind of person you want to lead the pack amongst men. I mean, two men can tell you. Like, also, you've met Johnny Boy. He's been my friend since I was 12. We've both just been like, just stop. You're not gonna add any value here. Like, this is something I know. You don't know. Yeah. Men constantly, in other words, we don't consider ourselves here. Look, my name's on the sign. Technically alpha. I'm not at church. I'm not in this country. Right. I have to vote for a president. I'm not when I'm in.
He's explaining exactly what I just said.
I submit to the authority of another man all the time. Who, if they were in here, they'd recognize my authority. So this idea that's like alpha and everything and beta, that's not true. Men inherently know it because that's how we navigate life. So I hate it. I hate the disingenuous presentation across the board.
Yeah.
But women sometimes don't understand that, like, if you don't want him to infantilize you, you have to be like a man and just submit yourself to the authority that is appropriate in that milieu.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Andrew always says, he's like, look, a lot of guys are perfectly happy with a dumb, hot yoga instructor. But one of the things I like best about my wife is that I can count on her to handle things in a competent way. I need somebody who helps me in what I'm trying to do, not hinders me in what I'm trying to do. And she's a great asset.
Should I just give like the real quick short version of what what Steven Crowder tried to say?
Yeah, we'll do it. Let's hear it.
Many of these designations, such as alpha, beta, omega, alpha widow, these are real constructs, but they're real constructs to me in a world that is decaying. I mean, they're real, but they're not.
They're container words, that's how I look at it. Look at it. They're great container words to give definition to a multiple of characteristics or behaviors or traits that we may exhibit in people, right? I tell guys, don't get so hung up on it, because you may think you're alpha. But so here's the funny thing. If you have to tell me how alpha you are, you just told me how alpha you're not.
I'm alpha!
Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Because, I have never seen a king walk into a room and have to remind everybody, hey, male space, did you know I'm the king?
Hear me, for I am your king.
I'm a king. Yeah, I'm the king.
Yeah.
The king walks into the room and everybody's bowing, right? Everybody already knows who he is. He doesn't have to announce himself. So a lot of these guys get hung up on these container words and think like, oh, that's being real beta. That's real. You're not alpha. Well, first of all, alpha is contextual. You're not always going to be the alpha in every given situation, right? Perfect example. Tom Brady was alpha on the football field. He was the guy. Everybody knew that. They built the team around Tom Brady. He obviously wasn't the alpha at home.
You are so bad. You are such an instigator. I swear to God. My God.
I need her. But she also knows where I don't need her
Right.
and where she's going to be like less helpful and whatever. And she'll say, okay, and just back
He did
off.
say that to me. He did say she's got a great asset. I said, Andrew, stop it. That's your wife you're talking about.
He's talked about his magnet hand, that he has a magnet in his hand.
There's something about the sound of
Yeah.
when you get it just right,
hmm
it's like a towel whip. You're like, ooh,
Yeah.
nailed all of that one. And that's the other thing too, is you have these pious Christians who want to be like, they'll even say like, the marriage bed is undefiled, but we don't want to discuss it. And it's like, you can't deal with, because sometimes we get this criticism, and rightfully so. I mean, we had the Little Caesar sketch where Little Caesar said, and I was amazed that we didn't get blowback for that. But it's like, you can't deal with the depravity and degeneracy of the world without pointing it out. We're never supporting it.
Yeah.
I go back to Alice Cooper. You're, metalhead. I know he's not metal, but
This is actually important because he actually brings up like, the marriage bed. And that's basically what we talk about. We talk about like the importance of sex in relationships. We talk about like how it's not supposed to be a chore. It should never be denied, and that's what he's talking about. And you know what? Christians hate when they hear us talk about sex. Like that's some of the most complaint about like topics I've covered is, yes, guys, you need to be good at it. You need to know what you're doing.
Yeah,
ladies,
I
give
get
it
all
to
the
'em.
time. I get all the time people going, Gia, all you do is talk about sex. Like, I don't want to hear it anymore. Like, you're supposed to keep that for your husband or whatever. And I'm like, okay, listen, first of all, I'm not doing sex. I'm talking about marital sex. I'm not just talking about like casual sex. I'm telling you why casual sex is not casual. That once you have sex, it is marriage. Okay. And I'm telling you why it's so important to keep it alive, because the Bible is more pro sex than
Yep.
most so-called Christians.
Yep.
Nowhere in the Bible does it say you can't smack your wife's bum. You can't have
Never.
sex in the garage. You can't, call
Not even
her
the 12th commandment.
whatever little names you want to call her, be freaky. Nowhere says that you can't do that. Okay. So
Yeah, that's right.
stop trying to shame a man for his desires in his wife.
Exactly. If you want to call her boo-boo kitty fuck, you call her boo-boo kitty fuck in bed.
You don't like the word, don't police my man. You don't have the right to tell my man how to talk to me.
Goddamn right you don't. He's a killer. Don't push him.
he even
Alice
said
Cooper's definitely metal.
okay. Well, yeah, I think
Yeah.
and by the way, the best ballads ever written. Frank Sinatra ended
Great.
all of his shows in his later years with Only Women Bleed. He said it's as close to the perfect love ballad
That's cool.
ever written. And he said, look, I didn't become a Christian until later. He said, but I always believed that God was real. He said, and if you go back and he said, it's schlock, it's B budget horror. He said, but the one thing I never did, because I never wanted to play with it, I never tried to convince people that the devil didn't exist.
Yeah.
He said Alice Cooper was a sociopath, but he was always punished for his crimes. So people see the decapitation and they go, oh, but it's like, but he strangled a nurse. Like it's basically a Broadway show.
Mhm.
And as long as there is that kind of, I want to say accountability is sort of a morality tale. He was like, yeah, this makes sense. Like this is what, it just goes. Alice Cooper. Have you ever read his book, Golf Monster?
No.
It's one chapter autobiography, next chapter golf tips.
Oh, nice.
The whole book. And but the point is, like, Christians got mad at him because he credited golf with getting through sobriety. He's like, I played 18 holes twice a day. Like, why don't you give credit to Jesus? He's like, Jesus can use a golf club. That's what he said. That was his answer.
Yeah.
He's very matter of fact. And you have these Christians who sometimes will get mad, like, well, we'll get pastors who say, I want your show, but I can't tell the congregation. I go, didn't you just tell them about your Netflix membership?
Yeah.
Like,
What the
oh,
heck?
but because we occasionally say naughty words or run naughty clips, and so we've really been hamstrung.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where I really appreciate you and
we get
Andrew
that
being
all
out
the
there
time.
in the thick of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get that all the time from like sewing circle Christians, as Andrew calls them.
See,
who
sewing
don't want us
circle
talking about
Christians.
certain things, and they want everything to be presented in this very pious way. And it's like,
Yeah.
we are where we are.
Yeah.
With things, and if we're not going to be honest about it, nobody's going to listen to it. And relationships and even marriage marriage has always been tough in the Orthodox Church. We call it a salvific path. It's basically you're either a monastic or you're getting married, and both are tough, and they both have challenges, and you have to kind of die to your own will to fully become one flesh with another person, and that's hard, and people don't want to do it, and people resist. And what I hate about feminism and the reason I'm so against it, it prevents women from doing that, which is bad enough. But it also basically tells women there's no need for humility or repentance.
Right.
And how are you supposed to be saved if you reject humility and repentance, which are the cornerstones of the Christian life? So yes, I say shit sometimes.
Yeah.
I tell an off-color joke once in a while. And sometimes if a woman is being a stupid bitch, I'll tell her she's being a stupid bitch.
True.
But
I've seen it.
at least I understand that none of us get out of this alive. And if you are a Christian, humility and repentance are the most important things. So when you're constantly telling women you're perfect how you are,
Exactly.
never apologize, everyone else needs to change for you. There's actual pop songs where there's women
Baby, you're
singers
just
saying,
perfect. It's like, but you're
Yeah.
not though.
So, what would you say what'd you get out of that? I mean, I thought it was a great show. I watched the entire thing.
Yeah,
just
it
like
was-
about 20 minutes of a 2-hour video.
There was a lot of actually familiarity between their relationship and my relationship. So like there's a lot of things that she said that was familiar to me and and what I've been through, so I could understand that. I think that there's a scripture about it's not good for a man to stay alone. Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
He who finds a good thing, or he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
and I think that's would be a good scripture to sum that up, because women and men both, if you ever notice somebody who stayed alone or never got married or grow old alone, right? Never had kids, they're very difficult to have any type of conversation with. These people are stubborn. They're not open-minded. They're hard to hang around. There's no ability to want to learn or hear from somebody else's perspective of life. Okay. They're usually very, very selfish. That's all due because and I've said this for years, what keeps men and women humble, integrity, all the good qualities that make them easy to have relationships with or easy to talk to, you need that other person to give you that feedback, that other person to be there like, no, like that's not cool that you're doing this. That's one of the things that happens in marriage. I know that's why I contribute everything today that I have, or even the type of person I am today is because of my husband. If it wasn't for him saying, you better fix yourself,
Yeah.
I might have been the worst woman in the world, So like when I get these comments, I'm like, oh, where can I find a girl like Gia? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like that was built by my husband.
This is a perfect time.
Give him the credit.
We got a segue right here. This is the perfect time to tell you what this entire video is about. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to introduce you to the new program for you fellas that have been waiting and asking Gia, how do I get my woman to be like you? Well, listen, dummy, you need to build the bitch. That's right. Wives do not come pre-made. They are built. And the way that your wife behaves is what you, sir, have built. So if you don't want to have a bitchy wife, then you need to go to buildabitch.com and get your own manual on how to build your bitch properly. Screws and other accessories are not provided. You need to find those on your own. And yeah. No, but seriously, like that's really what it is. It's build a bitch. Like, build a wife. Build a wife. Is that for those that don't like to hear the word bitch, then build the wife. But the woman that you have today, like the woman that you have today, if you don't like the way that she is, it's because you allowed it. You built it. You reinforced it. You allowed that behavior. You rewarded it. And that's the bitch you got. So build it.
Yeah. And that's why I get so frustrated online with the Black Pillars, because they love the tweets that are constantly degrading and putting down women. They love that. But as soon as I show them how, there's another side, there's a flip to the coin, okay, about what men have enabled and tolerated. It's, oh, Gia, you're a feminist now. So, okay, wait a second. So first, I'm the best thing in the world when I'm talking about women. But as soon as I talk about how men are also responsible, now I'm a feminist. It's just like, how can you reason with that? That's not even common sense. We all have a part to play here. We all have to be humble. We all have to learn. We all have to be guided.
So, I have a video here I want to play you real quick. It's about a minute and a half. And I think it's like going to be like the prelude of Build a Bitch. This is like, good happy wife's guide. I want you to tell me what you think about this real quick.
This is the Good Wife's Guide to help you, young wives, be a great wife for your husband. Step 1, cleaning. That's right. It's always pleasant to come home to a clean house. So ladies, make sure that you are in your proper cleaning clothes and cleaning the house for when your husband gets home, he can see that you have kept the home tidy for him. And always let him catch you cleaning, especially in that outfit. It makes him so full of joy. Next up, cooking. That's right, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Make sure that his dinner is ready when he comes home. And don't forget to wear that little outfit you're supposed to wear when you're cooking your man a meal. You know the one. And finally, bedtime. When you're going to bed, ladies, make sure you put on one of those sexy little nighties to entice your husband and let him know that right now is the time for him to enjoy the youth of his wife, right before he goes to dreamland, where he could dream all about it all over again. And that concludes the Good Wife's Guide. That's it, ladies. If you just follow those 3 simple steps, you will have the most happiest husband in the world who will love you until the end of time.
That was good. I like it. I like it. Where'd you get all that stuff? You put that together?
Yeah, like
Nice
2 years
job.
ago.
Nice job. Nice
It's
job.
called the good. It's
I-
just 3 little steps.
The only thing I will say is that we can't make it like a 1950s thing because we have to make it like the best of what was and the best of what is. And we have to
The lingerie was all modern.
that was cool. That was cool.
See, the outfit, ladies, just 3 little things: clean the house, sexy; cook, sexy; go to sleep, sexy; happy husband.
Make the house a home.
Exactly.
Make sure
But-
he's fed. Make sure his needs are met. I won't get vulgar.
We'll leave it there. We will leave it there.
Yes.
And that got fun. That got fun a lot.
What was that?
Well, that was for when you get vulgar. And then I'll just make Grid say that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Okay, so
No, let's wrap it up.
To kind of wrap it up, guys, women, we don't want to hope. Hope is not a plan. Okay. So let's stop the hope stuff. Let's plan it. Let's create a solution. Are there women that can become good wives? Yes. But they
Yes.
have to be built. They don't show up that way. And guess what it's going to take? It's going to take patience. It's going to take guidance. It's going to take leading by example. It's going to take setting those foundations right from the beginning. Okay.
Hold on,
Not
fellas. These are all the
3
things
years
that you're
down the
supposed to
road.
be doing. She's
Mhm.
telling you what you fellas that you need to be doing. Ladies,
Mhm.
the only way that it's going to work is if you are teachable.
Mhm.
If you are stubborn, I don't care how if you are stubborn and you are argumentative and you are not agreeable, it's not going to work. Fellas, you need to be the guy that she could submit to, that she could be agreeable with, that she's not argumentative with. And the way that you showed that's through competency, through your leadership. And that was what Gio was explaining.
Mm.
Continue.
Well done. Yeah, no, you summed it up well. So women, you have to remember, listen, you have to be willing to say sorry. You have to be willing to realize that you don't know everything. You just don't. You'll never know everything. Okay. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make a mistake. I make mistakes to this day. It's okay. Just be willing to say sorry. Be willing to tell him, okay, listen, I might not know anything. I'm open to what you have to say. Let's try it. Let's do it. Let's stop being in opposition. Stop being on the opposite side of the table with him. Okay. You're supposed to be on the same side as him. You're supposed to be on his team, not against him. Okay. And then another thing is be willing to come down in that lifestyle that you expect. It's social media. The social media life is not real. It's an illusion. It's a massage. It's a mirage. It's a mirage.
It's
It's
not a
not real.
massage. I mean, if it is a massage, like hopefully it comes with a happy ending. But
You know
I don't
what
think
I
you're talking about that.
A mirage. It's a mirage, guys. The people that are on social media telling you that they're living this life. I'll tell you a story. So I know when I very first started out, this was like what,
Hold on, we got-
2010 or 2000, yeah, 2010, 2011, like right when social media had started. I remember I had seen all this stuff, like people here, there, everywhere, you know, and I would go to my husband, I'd be like, I don't understand. Like, why don't I ever get like invited to do any of these things? I don't really understand. He's like, because you're married. You're married. And they know they cannot get away with doing certain things to you. And I'm like, no, that's not true. And I didn't want to believe it. And then sure enough, like a year later, I found out that they were like poo-pooing on the Dubai thing. And that these girls that I looked up to, they were all like escorts. And I was like, what? No wonder why they can have these crazy, like extravagant photo shoots. No wonder why. Like I could never understand, like, wow, this is an amazing set. How are they doing this? How do they get, oh, there you go. Like my husband told me, he knew it, you know, and I just,
he was like, they're doing something strange for a piece of change. And you're like, no, they're not. They're wholesome women. Yeah, they wholesome.
I'm like,
Wholesome, not wholesome.
They're beautiful girls. Like, why wouldn't they be invited to these things? Like, why wouldn't they want to be asked to doing these things? He's like, it has nothing to do with that. And I'm like, you sure? And he's like, I'm telling you. Sure enough, he has always been right. Always been freaking right from day one. So this is what I'm telling you, ladies. Stop with the illusions. It's not true. The best thing you can ever do is invest in a family and a husband. Stay right there. And I'm telling you, long game, it will all pan out.
That's right. Unless you get a psycho, late guys. Like, if you get a psycho, you got problems. Like, hey, did I tell you that time? Like, let me tell you. So I was told that you did everything wrong. You're always wrong. You're always doing things wrong. And I was like, you know what? You just need to shut the
Energy of truth on fire. They call it